Welcome in episode 2 of TMI. If you didn't know by now, my name is Chad, and every single week here on TMI, I am joined here by my wonderful, amazing, unbelievable co-hosts, I can't say lost boy, my lost person, right? You're not a lost boy, lost person, the one and only, the host of TMI, Miss Shelly Martinez. Welcome in for another Too Much Information session. Here we go.
Here we are, once again, joining forces to bring too much information to the masses.
Like, the Mega Powers, the Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. We could do the handshake through the
brother.
All right, there we go. Give me that, brother.
Works for me.
I love that.
Randy Savage. Oh, he was the bomb, man. No, he was the bomb. Just that's all I gotta say about that. We can talk about him on another day, but he was the bomb, I think.
Oh, absolutely. He's right up there for me. I loved the Mach. The Mach was the man. A macho man,
perhaps. And here's the thing. I've always loved him, right? But when I saw his dark side of the ring, that's when I loved him even more. Like, I didn't realize the layers behind, So that was really interesting. So if you guys haven't seen it, you should go check it out. I highly recommend it.
I will say I very rarely ever do this, but I am actually wearing my Bret Hart jacket that I got for Christmas. I got to be honest with you. I wear this thing every day. It's like the most comfortable sweatshirt jacket thing, but I also feel like the Hitman wearing this, like
it's really cute. It's really,
I love
really
it.
Cute.
It's amazing. It's like fluffy, but it's also like comfortable. So you might see me wearing this a lot because
you wear that. You wear it because it's really, really cute. Make sure you take care of it and keep the colors vibrant. That pink needs to stay vibrant. That's your task.
I'm all about it. I mean, I'll wear this thing until it can't be worn anymore, but it has been meticulously maintained since it has arrived on Christmas. Even though my cat tried to steal the bag out of the area where we had it stored, so she was walking around with the bag.
You gotta watch her.
Damn cat. So what's going on with you? How was your first TMI post week? How's everything in the world of Shelly? Shelly from Cali.
That's a interesting question. There's lots of
question for you.
Oh yeah. And much like the Mach, there's lots of layers to it. But all in all, I'm just trying to do my damn best. That's all you can do, right? There's a lot of changes going on in my personal life, and a lot of those changes really sting. Things I've been going through that I just never thought in a million years I would. But here I am. And so I'm just like navigating through feelings of like disappointment, heartbreak, having to accept things I don't want to, but it is what it is. And feeling like kind of lost a part of myself, but it's okay because through all of that process, there's been like this rebirth of me. Like there's this like new version of me that's like, now these changes that I've been going through in my life, it's been going on for a couple of years now, the transition, but now it's here. It's like, I kind of don't know how to be because like there were certain people in my life that I just never thought wouldn't be in my life anymore. And now that they're not, I'm just like kind of effed in the head over it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, there's so many layers, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying my best, man. That's all you can do.
So wait, so people that have been around that are not around, you're now are you coping with them not being around, or are you missing them not being around.
I'm definitely not missing them because things
Oh,
that have
not
gone
missing them.
things that have gone down, I really don't wanna be around them right now, and that sucks. That sentence right there sucks to say because I don't find any joy in it. I don't like any of it, but I've accepted the fact that that's just the deal right now, and that's why I don't want to be around those people right now because or I have no interest because I don't know how to feel. And when I've been around them, like I shut down and I'm quiet. That's what I
Okay.
do. When I'm around people who they're just rubbing me wrong, I don't like their vibe, I shut down and I just get quiet. And I hate that because when I'm
I
in
can't
that
even
zone,
picture you like that.
oh my gosh, there's some people that only know that version of me. So when they see me like on social media or whatever, they're like, "What?" And it's like because I get to be myself. Like this right now is me, like totally
Right.
me. But when I had to be around certain people who I've had issues with and like now they're not a part of my life and I've had to be around them, it's just like I don't know how to be because I feel like I can't be myself around you. So now I have to shut down. And then it drains me to shut down because I am working against what naturally I want to be, which is myself. But
Right.
I don't feel safe to do that. So shutting down to me is so exhausting and it takes so much out of me and it takes me out for, like, days sometimes, you know? I'm just like, "Oh my gosh," like, I wanna be at a point where I could still have boundaries with people, but if I have to be around them and it's that kind of situation, I could still be a guarded self, but still be myself. Whereas right now, I'm at the point where I can't even be myself. I'm stripped. I'm just like, "Mhm, yeah, mhm," just the whole
Hmm.
time, and I hate that feeling.
Yeah. No, that's interesting because if you can't be yourself, then a change needs to be made. So if there's a positive movement for you, then keep moving in that direction. But I mean, I can't even picture you being closed in with anything. All the times obviously, look, I mean, I've, and this is that here's where you and I in 2 weeks have worked so well together already. This is already going to work into how a question I have for you for a few minutes from now. But in getting to know you, just from like Francine, right? And having you on our show when I was working with Francine and like, and my friendship with Kevin Ferdig and hearing all about you through it. I can't even picture you not being lively and what I see so far. So that's to me concerning. And if people who didn't see that, I would see that concerning for them. So
Well, here's the thing.
goodbye.
I've
They
always
shouldn't
been
be
this way.
around.
That's why I have there's certain people in the wrestling business that have a certain opinion of me that totally is the opposite of other people who I feel I can be this way around. I can be myself. And then other people, I'm like, I can't. I have to shut down. And so that's always how I've been. Like, I can't be fake unless I'm getting paid, AKA a gig, to be fake. And even then, I can pull it off, but I hate the way it makes me feel. So
Right.
I'm a person that I don't care if it doesn't make me the better person or whatever. If I'm in a room with somebody I don't like or have an issue with, it is written all over my face. And not only that, I feel bad because I have such a strong energy that is just as much as I can bring people in with like my positive vibes. If I don't like someone, the entire room knows it. They may not know who it is, but they feel a heaviness around me. And then what ends up happening is people who want approval from me, like they want me to like them, they will start kissing my ass. That's when I know I'm affecting the room, when if, like, I'm shutting
Mhm.
down and, like, because they start kissing my ass, and one thing I cannot stand is when people kiss my ass. I hate it. Like, I don't I don't need you to tell me how beautiful I am. I don't need you to tell me how gorgeous my eyes are. I don't need you to tell me this and that. Like, I don't care about that. Like, that's not what I'm about. And so when I see people do that, I'm just like, "Oh, crap." And so then that puts me in a weird spot because I'm like, now I'm affecting the room.
Right.
This sucks. And so being hyper aware of all that, that is also extra draining because then I'm over here, there's a person over here I don't like, I have an issue with. So I'm shutting down, but now the room is absorbing my shutting downness. So now I got to try to like make it right. Oh my gosh, it's so much. That's why I'm just like, leave me alone. Just let me be.
And you know what's so fun? I mean, like I'm not gonna say hide it well, but like your posts on social media, you always try to keep things very upbeat. You're always posting things that like you're always you're always trying to bring people looks like joy to me. So it sucks to hear that you were having a tough time yourself this week.
Well, a now deleted tweet. I kind of said something. I was like,
Oh, did you really?
I tweeted out something to the effect of, I wish I can just be one of those people that can say I'm not buying presents for people I don't like for the holidays because like I felt forced. Like here I am, I have this issue with this person. They're not really in my life anymore, but I have to be around them in these social situations. And so now it's like the holidays and there's like a gift exchange and I'm just like, "Oh, like I want to be that asshole that's just like, no, dude, you're not getting shit from me." But that makes me feel bad. So
Well, you just get him a shitty gift.
I got him a gift card, which to me is not crappy. People poo poo on the gift card. The way I look at it is if
It's
somebody,
impersonal.
no, because here's the thing. I'll use my mom as an example. I kept buying my mom things that I thought she would like throughout the years. And then one day she was like, for now on, you don't have to buy me stuff like this anymore." And so I was like, "Oh shit. Okay." Like, and here's the thing. I didn't take offense to it like, ew. I was like, "Oh man, like I thought she was liking these things." Okay. So now I get her gift cards. And every time I give her a gift card, I say, "Look, it's not that I'm being impersonal. It's that like she loves to go to Sephora." I go, "Now you can buy what you want. I don't necessarily know the items that you get there, but I know you go to Sephora or you go to Ulta. So like I get the specific ones to places you go to, not to be like not thoughtful, but I want you to get what you want." And in my head, I'm thinking, I don't want you to be like, "Oh, you don't need to buy this for me anymore," again, because it made me
Yeah.
feel bad that I was getting stuff that's probably not used. So I did delete that tweet. And it's because I did feel bad because then after the gift exchange happened, even though I was mad and even though I have my feelings on the situation, positive came out of this little party and this little gift exchange that happened. So it worked out. So I was like, okay, I'll delete it. So there are times that I'll post raw on the Twitter.
Okay. All right. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Listen, I haven't told you the first thing about my mom yet. Okay. And if we had that, the TMI would be
It's flowing.
TMI. Because that would be something for another day and time and lifetime because it is an interesting one. So that's
I get
but
it.
and gift buying 101, she is like the gift Nazi. So you heard of the soup Nazi?
Oh
This is the
yeah.
gift Nazi.
Mm.
Okay. I mean, it is like this lady has sonar for gifts, what they cost, who they're going to, where they're coming from. And if you are going to mail it in on somebody you're not a big fan of, she going to know all about it. And, look, I got no problem with a good regift, okay, for somebody that I'm not a big fan of. And she'll smell it out. She'll be like, that's a regift. And I'm proud to say we regifted the shit out of something to somebody that we weren't really a big fan of this year. So I'm
See,
fine with saying that. I got
that's what
no
I'm saying.
qualms.
The there's people out there that'll be like, they're able to just like not give anything, and I just can't. Like I'll grudgingly give, and it's not because I care about what that person would think of me. Oh, Shelly didn't get me. It's not that. It's the way I look at it is it's the holidays. I will participate in something that's positive, and I don't want them I don't wanna, even though they don't deserve it, I don't want them to feel bad, like, for not getting something from me. Not that they would be mad at me, but I don't want them to be like, "Oh, I guess I didn't," whatever. So at the end of the day, that's what my whole post was about, is I wish sometimes I could just turn a switch and be an asshole, a ruthless asshole, but I always think about people's feelings because as a kid, my feelings were constantly hurt by adults in my family, that I know how it feels to have your feelings hurt by, like, your mom, and so I don't like to make hurt people's feelings even if I'm mad at them.
Okay. Fair. That's very fair. I had the gift karma come back and bite me in the ass this year, if you want to hear about that.
Let's hear
I
it.
didn't want to buy things for certain people. So I said, I'm just buying them blankets because a blanket sucks. So I'm said just buying blankets for these people, right? Because what are you going to do with a blanket? You're just going to throw it on a bed or a couch or whatever. Well, the two people I bought the blankets for, both were canceled by the sellers or distributors or whoever, right? Guess what I ended up getting?
What?
I got a blanket. Okay? Karma came and got me in the form of a giant freaking New York Mets blanket. So
Here's what's interesting. I love a good blanket. I love getting blankets, so I'm all about it. I don't think it's a bad gift, and it's so funny because, um, the person I've been with now for 10 years, we name him Metal Jesus. I gave him a blanket for Christmas.
it's just a good cop out gift. It's like, hey,
It's
it's an
not
easy
though. It
thing.
was
Throw it.
thankful because here's the thing. I call him my moon man for reasons, and it was like love you to the moon and back blanket, and we
Okay,
like to
that's
sit and
fine.
watch on the couch or
Perfect.
whatever. But now you're
Meaningful.
making me feel like
No.
maybe
That's
like
that's heartfelt. Oh, I love that.
okay.
Actually made my heart tingle. This one was like, can't think of anything. Click blanket. Oh, can't think of anything. Click blanket. Awesome. 2 days later, canceled. Shit. Open my present. I got a blanket. So there you go.
I love getting blankets. That's just me.
It's too heavy too. That's the other thing. It's too heavy. It's like I'm gonna sweat to death now. I've got this stupid blanket on, but what are you gonna do? So, all right. Well, couple things I want to get to here before we get rolling. One of the Christmas things in my house, my youngest daughter is a big fan of the movie Wicked. Okay, Wicked for Good. But this is something that you had sent my way as well, and I thought this was kind of funny. The codependency of Cythia Ervo or Ervi. I don't know how the hell you say her last name. Cythia Ervi, whatever it is, and Ariana Grande in interviews promoting the movie Wicked. Little weird. Kind
Little
of, and
first of
also
all,
I feel like piggybacking kind of off what we were talking about last week, but yeah, let's talk about it.
Ariana Grande will always be the donut licker to me. That is who she is. That is who she'll always be. If you don't know, go look it up. She back in the day was licking some donuts and they caught her on security. And the reason why she's always just the donut licker to me is whether that was staged or not, that just made me not like her. I'm like, okay, you go in this box over here. So, not to say she doesn't have talent. and that she's a really cute girl. So fast forward, Wicked. First of all, both these gals, their physical appearance looks very concerning.
Freaky.
Just, it's like weird in itself. And then, so that was like the first thing I feel that was kind of popping up when they started like promoting the movie and all this. Then, when you started seeing them interact, it's so unsettling to me. Like, it's so uncomfortable. And the more time that goes on and the more they were promoting, the weirder it got. And one of the ones that sticks out to me a lot is when the Cythia gal, when Ariana Grande was they were both being interviewed, she was talking to the interviewer. She just starts fixing her necklace, and then Ariana Grande goes, "Oh yeah, so she's gonna just fix it." And it's like, what are you, her stylist? Like, what is going on here? Like, that's weird. That's not normal behavior. And then, so it's like, first of all, I feel like you're being disrespectful to her while she's being interviewed. You're supposed to be a professional. You're both out here promoting this movie. You're supposed to act like a professional, and you are fussing with her. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a work or if it's half work, half shoot, or I don't know what, but whatever it is, it totally rubs me wrong. And it makes me feel like, why are people that like defend them or whatever so wholeheartedly that way? Because it's like, it's not normal behavior. I don't care if you're a fan of them and what they've done. This is not normal. They don't look normal. When like the
No.
viral things is when they show before and after Wicked, when it's those two in particular, and then it's like this other gal that's in it. And that's concerning that you did a film, and it's like, sometimes people in Hollywood, they lose a significant amount of weight for a role, right? But then they go back to looking normal again. They don't go and just like they look worse now than they did when they first came out, and they looked concerning. And so it's like weird. And then the Cythia chick acts like a jealous boyfriend sometimes. And I'm like, are you just
Yeah.
her handler or something? Like, what is going on here? I don't understand. And I don't know, maybe that's part of what the thing is. But here's the thing, whether it's a work or not, another thing that concerns me so much is the look and vibe that's always on Ariana Grande. She always looks like she's deathly afraid, like in fear mode all the
Yeah.
time. It's so weird. And I don't know. I can't think of any other celebrities, whether it was yesteryear up to current times, that look like these women and act like these women do. Like, it's weird.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to just say it piggybacks where we were kind of dabbling last week. There's some weird underground thing going on with these two. Now, if it's a work, Ariana cut her chops in the comedy world. Maybe she thinks this is one big laugh and that she just wants to have a good time, in these interviews, because I'm sure they're doing 10,000 of them and they're just trying to keep themselves entertained. But there's the one where the interviewer asks her, "What's your favorite food?" or something like that. And she breaks down, and Cynthia Ervio, or however the hell you say her name, jumps in to wipe her tears and comfort her and hug her. And it's like, again, where's the professionalism of the interview? Like, they asked you what your favorite food was, not where did you bury your pet hamster when you were 9, So
Exactly.
there are some very odd things that are coming out. But now we know from things that have come out over the years with Ariana Grande growing up in that Nickelodeon world, that Nickelodeon world is filled with nothing but creeps and absolute scumbags. So maybe the environment that she's in now is really not very helpful to where she came from. So this is a codependent relationship that they're in, and it's not healthy the way they act when they're in front of the screens. And, look, my daughter loves the dolls. She's a doll collector. She's 9, but she's now getting to the point where she's keeping the dolls in pristine shape And she loves the Wicked dolls because they come with really fancy dresses and hats and crowns and staffs and this and that. Loves them. We watch the Macy's parade and Cythia Ervio comes up and we have to be like, honey, the scary lady will be off the screen soon because she looks like Nos friggin' Ferratu with her scary ass nails and her skin friggin', no flesh face, like all bones. She's scary. And I'm sorry. It's like they can't present this as normal. They both look very odd. And it's, it's something went on with the making of these movies. They filmed them back to back. Something went on with these movies. And they've now got a relationship that's taken on a new some new life.
I feel there's an agenda behind it, but even though there's an agenda behind it, in my opinion, it's taking its toll, especially on Ariana Grande, I feel.
Oh yeah.
And it's just very unsettling to see. It's kind of like Britney Spears, like when she started posting on Instagram, for example. I remember thinking to myself, she doesn't look well. She looks like she hasn't washed her face in days. But people are like, you're so beautiful and this and that. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Like, this is not helping her situation.
I agree with you. I love her, but I agree.
And I saw one of my friends liked her photo once. So I texted him and I was like, hey, I noticed you like Britney Spears' photo. Did you not think that she looks out of her mind? He goes, oh, no, I do. But, I just love Britney Spears. And I was just like, see, like, but come on. And so that's the kind of thing with Ariana Grande is we're all seeing it, but like when I say they, I mean the media goes out of their way to like not point it out, even though they do like here in, in the right setting or whatever. But just generally speaking, like they keep interviewing them. They keep having them on their shows and booking them. No one's saying, look, they're not well to do this. Like, or maybe just the Cythia chick should do it. Like no one cares. They're just pushing her out there. And I don't know, dude. There's just like, I feel more concern for Ariana Grande in that situation. I feel that Cythia lady is part of being a handler, so that's just different. Even though you see her break down, there was a video where there was like a helicopter and then the Cythia chick goes, oh, she starts freaking out. Ariana Grande's, it's okay, and then she starts telling the helicopter, go away. It was so weird.
It's just weird. It makes it doesn't make any sense. Where does that come from? Does she have a fear of helicopters? Is that what do you call helicopter fear? Helicopteritis? Like what is that?
Freaking Henry from Goodfellas, that's what you call it. So
is that Ray Liotta driving through the streets looking for helicopters? We'll really make you see helicopters.
Yep. I don't know, dude. It's just weird. And even though there's like articles and things like that, and the gossip shows will talk about like, oh, fans concerned about blah, blah, blah. I feel generally speaking, there's no true concern for them. And I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just, it really weirds me out. And it weirds me out. Like you're saying, the Macy's Day Parade, I was like, why is she there? Like, why is this happening? Like, I just don't get this. I walked away. I went into the bathroom. I got myself a little refill. Like, I was over it. I was like, I can't with this. I feel like they're being shoved down our throats. Something is effed up about them. The media doesn't care that they're showing us this, like that they're effed up. Like they don't care what condition they're in. And I want to know why the Cythia chick is so aggressive with Grande.
Yeah, I'm just on her Wikipedia page.
She's only 39.
She's 39, but you want to take a stab at her name?
Oh, wow. What? Wow.
So I wanted to click this. I wanted to click this and see if it played. How do you pronounce her name? I personally can't do it. So I wanted to click this. Oh, it doesn't do it. Damn it. All right. Wait.
Ervio.
Oh, okay. It's
Oh.
Arivo. I thought it was going to pronounce Cythia Chinasquo Anya. I can't do it. She got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She got 7 names.
She's like the freaking Mexicans, how we have a billion names. What is she? I wonder what nationality she is.
I've seen the Spanish American name be about 3, maybe max of 4. 7, that's
No, I'm talking about the
pushing.
Angela, Consuela, Guadalupe.
Yeah, but that, like I said, that's 3, maybe 4. This 7 is pushing it a little bit.
7 is pushing it. What's the one on the Bundys? The
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You got some. Let me tell you something. That's one thing. I've been loving about, like, following you more on social media. Like, your TV preferences align very well with mine. Your music is right there. Oh my gosh! Like, every time you post something about music, I'm like, is this chick like following my YouTube playlist? Like, this is unbelievable. And it's incredible. Just some of, like, some of them kind of depress me, where it's like, oh, did you know 30 years ago, blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, this song turns 25 years old this week. Like, hard to say, Papa Roach is 25 years old, and like, I watched a whole Instagram video about all these songs turning 25. I'm like, that's not even possible. So, but I just thought that was very funny.
That makes me so happy because music is my everything. And ever since I started Twitter, which was back in, I think, 2009, I've always talked about music on there primarily, like even more than wrestling. And I share music. That's why I get really annoying with my Pandora shares when I'm listening to it. I would listen to more radio these days, but whatever. But my point is a lot of my audience connects with me with the music, and that's what kept me always posting about music all these years, is seeing how cool it was that my fan base and people that I literally knew, we were all coming together because of music and me like bringing up a song or retweeting or whatever. I love it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find one of the mixes on my YouTube mix, because I'm going through your social media right here. Man in the Box, Santeria. I just saw Papa Roach was on there. Alice in Chains Unplugged. It's like, okay, like, literally, this is what I listened to on the way to work this morning. So it's just it's very funny how much it aligns, but that's what it's like growing up in the 90s. We had good music. I just sent
So
something
many
to my
different
wife
types.
earlier about it.
There's so many different types too, and that's how I am. I love all music. I can't think of, unless, 'cause I'm big on lyrics. Unless it's like lyrics I'm not down with. I love all music. And the 90s had so many different varieties because you still had the grunge, right? But then you had like alternative really taking over more. And then you have like the kind of like Offspring vibes, and you got like the Stain vibes. And then, then there's the Spice Girls. And like there's just so much music, man. And then you still venture back to the 80s, at least for me, during the 90s era too. So it's just like filled with so much. And I love that about that era of music. There's just so many different types of good music was happening then. And
Yeah.
I love it all.
Yeah. No, I got Guns N' Roses Greatest Hits album for Christmas, and it only
Nice.
had eight songs on it. And I'm like, how do they only pick 8 to put on this? It's like they could have had like 15 versions of the greatest hits to throw out there. I'm sure my wife or kids probably bought it at Walmart. So, I mean, it's probably the Walmart version of it. But yeah, no, I just thought music, you learn a lot about people through their music tastes. I've always said that.
Amen.
So, all right. So another thing I wanted to bring up is this. We did talk last week. We talked a lot, But, we didn't get to really talk that much one to one. And even though, like I said, I've had you on shows that I've been a part of, I didn't really get to talk to you about things that maybe I wanted to know. So I thought that maybe with this episode, I would do that. And since it is TMI and this is a show where we're not really going to hold back much, I kind of got like a burning question that I would like to throw at you if you are obliged to have it thrown your way.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off. So I would like to know the absolute real reason for your WWE departure and what exactly happened with Batista in the WWE. Because listen, I've heard the stories, I've heard rumors for years, but I would like to hear from you directly on your own show what the real reason is. So we didn't get a chance to even really discuss anything outside of just an intro last week. So let's talk.
Okay, so let's move backwards. So the infamous night that I got in a fight with Dave Batista. So for me, it was very rememberable because Ozzy Osbourne was there with his band. And I was really vibing with his bandmates. And after they performed, Ozzy left, but his band stayed because they wanted to see me perform with Kevin because they were like so enchanted with our characters and this and that. And so I was excited. And then there I was looking for some hairspray. And so before I go to grab the hairspray, we're all backstage in where the monitor is. We can see the show. And I see this wrestler whisper to Batista something. And the Batista goes, "Hey, Shelly," or something to the effect of, "Last I checked, the thing that happened in catering had nothing to do with you. So why don't you mind your own effing business?" And I just looked at him. And at that time, he and I had been butting heads leading up to that. The one thing I want to say is it annoys the hell out of me that people assume that I had sexual relations with Batista. I never did anything. It was never like that. Never, never, never. Like,
Okay, because I'm going to stop you right there because that I think is the general thought.
And that's not it at all. He dated one of my friends. So to me, that was like my friend's like guy. Like, it was never that way. I never looked at him. And not only that, he's not my type at all. I'm not saying he's unattractive. I'm just saying he is zero my type. So I used to I felt like he was my friend for, before we started butting heads. And so when he said that, I thought to myself, okay, I have an action figure coming out. Ozzy's band's out there waiting to see me perform. I went to WrestleMania. If I get fired for saying something, oh well, I did all that. So I looked at him and I said, "Last I checked, you weren't even in catering. So why don't you mind your own effing business?" And it was like the locker room, it was like a movie. They were like, the heads were like, what? Like, everyone in unison. And so he stormed out of his chair, came in my face, and he just started telling me, "You're nothing in this business, blah, blah, blah." He started just like talking to me like that. And I said, "Honestly, I don't give a shit what you think of me." And then once I said that, I saw him look behind me. And that's when I realized everyone was watching. And he started saying, "F you, F you." And he's pushing his middle finger in my face. And I kept thinking to myself, hit me, hit me, hit me, because I will come for you. And so he didn't. And then I smacked his hand out of my face. And I said, "No, F you." I said, if a real man would have pulled me aside and chewed me out, "So you want to pop the boys?" I said, "F you." And so he stormed off, I'll never forget CM Punk was right there with Domino, and that's where the makeup artist was behind them. So I was like, shit, I'm gonna go on live TV. I need that hairspray. So I went to run to get the hairspray, but Punk thought I was going after Batista. He was like, Shelly, no. And he grabs me and he's holding me back. I'm like, I need hairspray. I need hairspray. So I get the hairspray, and then Laurinaitis comes out with Batista, and he was like, "What happened?" And I told him what had happened, and he was like, "Did that happen? Did you flip her off?" He goes, "I don't remember, but now I am," and he flips me off. Then Laurinaitis goes, "How dare you talk to top male talent that way?" And I said, "I don't care who you are. If you come and disrespect me like that, I'm going to stick up for myself. So can we revisit this? Because I got a job to do. I got to go out there and do my job. So can we talk about this after I'm done doing my job?" And so when Kevin and I went out there, he was wrestling, was it Nunzio, I think? I think that's who it was. And, as a heel, you're not supposed to be cheered, but like people loved me. So I remember thinking to myself, in my gut, I knew I was going to get fired. So there was like this little, I'm not saying a huge one, but a little aerial chant going on. So I started eating it up. I started kind of playing to the crowd because I knew that was my last. I knew it. And then when Kevin wins, I go in there and I almost cry when we like her celebrating because I knew. And I remember I went to the back and Matt Hardy was right there. And I was like, dude, I'm going to get fired. He's like, no, 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 man, you're not going to get fired. Don't worry about it. Like, da, da, da. And I'm thinking, even though Matt Hardy, who's been here forever, is telling me that it's not the case, I feel like I'm going to get fired. So then like 2 days go by and I got a call from Johnny Ace and he was like, creative has nothing for you. So we're going to have to let you go. And I start laughing. And he was like, why are you laughing? I go, dude, that's not why. I'm in the opener every week. The creative has nothing for me. I know exactly why I'm getting fired. And he was like, just keep in touch with us. You never know. And I was like, if this is how you guys treat people, like, I'm good. Thanks for the opportunity. But like, no. And so that was that. So all these years, that's the story I've told in a million interviews.
Okay.
That's the story I've told to people who've asked me privately that are in the business.
Okay.
But it hasn't been until recently, Chad.
Oh boy.
Something made sense. So Melina was on an interview where, of course, they asked her about it. And first of all, it pissed me off because I did this person's interview with this person, and I thought and the reason why I wanted to do an interview with them was because I saw other ones they did with other wrestlers, and I thought that he did a really good job. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, I'd like to be a part of that. Like, cool, yeah. So, of course, we talked about the whole Batista thing, blah, 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 whatever. And at that time, that's when I was like, not quite understanding the situation 100% yet, but what I was saying was it wasn't Batista's fault. I prior to that had told off Shawn Michaels, I told off Randy Orton, and then I ended up having a fight with Batista. So I was at that point when I was having this interview, I said, now I understand why, like, was looked at as this problem. At the time, I didn't. I thought it was just this isolated situation with Batista. So that was my way of trying to be like, you know what? No, like, that's not the case after all. So this dude who interviewed me misquoted me to Melina when he interviewed her after we had our interview. And he said, something to the effect of Shelly Martinez says that because of her sticking up for you to Dave Batista, that's why she got fired. And then Melina just goes, no, that's not it. It's because it's this thing that happened in catering. And then when she did that, it told me two things. One, that people bring that up to her, probably not as much as me, but they bring it up to her and she's tired of it. And that made me feel bad. And then two, I was like, what is she talking about, the catering thing? Now, the catering thing happened on that same day. There was a friend of mine who was having issues with this guy that was there. And like an asshole, I took it upon myself to call him out for treating her this way. Now, I say like an asshole because at the time I was trying to take up for my friend. But now looking back, effing Batista was right. Last I checked too, what I was telling that guy in catering, it wasn't any of my business. Not at all.
Okay.
And they continue to date each other, these people. So it's like, so yeah, I was butting my nose where it didn't belong, right? And so when Melina said that and I had time to marinate on it, I was like, dude, yeah. Like, and if I can go back in time, Chad, this is what I would change. When Batista was like, last I checked, it had nothing to do with you, so mind your own effing business. I wish I would have looked at him and went, oh my gosh, you're so right. Thanks for letting me know. Or something like that. Like something smart alecky, but at the same time, like, yeah. And then the other thing is, I was brought up in this business old school. Old school, right?
Right.
And one of the number one things that you're supposed to do is show respect to your vet.
Right. Respect the vets.
Batista was my vet, and I disrespected him. I'm not saying the way he reacted was right, but at the end of the day, I could see the higher ups going, this girl's acting unprofessional. And even if the thing was the injustice people say is like, oh, you know, because women can't speak whatever. And that's all true. Yeah. It's different for the women and the men in the business. And especially at that time, and then the time, you know, the eras before me, as the women, you don't talk to top male talent that way. So Johnny Ace, when he said that at the time, I was looking at it as a outside of the bubble situation when I was in it, right? Like, I'm a human being. No, I'm going to stand up for myself. And going back to being old school, I was always taught, if you have a problem with someone, you go right to them. Like, don't be gossipy about it. Go to them. And so in a way, I thought I was doing the right thing by dealing with him one-on-one. But I lost sight of there was a way I could have dealt with it by still being professional. And there's a way I could have dealt with it by still honoring the Carney code of like respecting your vet without selling myself short in it and without letting myself get disrespected. And I didn't, because I was being reactive, because now that I've had time to look back at it, whether it was the thing in catering, the reason why now when I look back, I did that wasn't because I was trying to be like this troublemaker. It was because I know how it feels when no one says anything on your behalf. Like, I know how it feels. And so in that moment, I was triggered. And so I stuck my nose where it didn't belong in this situation between two people, because I know how that girl felt.
Right.
And then when Batista was like, whatever, and getting in my face, it triggered when I was in an abusive relationship, like out of like during high school and then out of high school. It was the same person. And he triggered that guy to me. And it took me until I got into the world of wrestling to escape that guy, because wrestling gave me the confidence within myself to leave that abusive relationship I was stuck in for years. So up until the Batista thing, no one ever made me feel that way. So when Batista triggered that guy, of course I didn't back down, because I was like, F that. No. And so now I realize why I was looked at as a problem. I still don't think it's fair I didn't get to go to wrestler's court over this, because then maybe, or someone could have pulled me aside and been like, dude, you can't be like da-da-da. And one could say maybe Johnny Ace was trying to do that, but it didn't feel like it at the time. And so that's why I reacted the way I did. And I know Johnny Ace has done some shady things or whatever, but he was always really cool to me. And I always really, really liked him and liked having conversations with him and stuff like that. So going back, if what ifs, I really wish Johnny Ace would have sat me down and like really told me how my actions were about to cost me my job. But no
Yeah.
one did that. They just got rid of me, which is fine. That was my future. That was my fate. And if that didn't happen, I would have never been able to be a part of TNA during the build up of that knockouts division. And if I
Right.
had to sacrifice my career, sacrifice Ariel to have that, that's what I signed up for in wrestling, is for moments like that and experiencing that. So there's no regrets. But now I know what Melina meant. And now I see the whole situation and these different layers, because all this time I just thought of that surface layer of all the triggers that were happening to me. So then I responded with my trauma responses, which was don't back down, stand up for yourself, F that guy, blah blah blah.
Right.
And
That's
it just
maturity, though.
but it trips me out because it's like all this stuff was kind of like unbeknownst to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, like, anyone watching this right now, if you're like in the business, you privately hit me up. I want to know what people were saying about me back then. Like, because I have no clue. I was just living in the moment and like that, just being myself. And like, as years go on, I realize like people were talking about me because they were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe Shelly went and like da da da." And like, to me, it was no big deal. Like the fight with Batista, I was like, whatever. Like I confront people. That's what I like. I used to not have a voice. I found my voice, and so I confront people. And to everyone else, it was like, "Oh, did you see that Shelly Martinez went up to Dave Batista?" But to me, that's how I was looking at it all these years, until things started getting back to me and things that people were saying about me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I had no idea I had this like reputation, or like that people were even talking about me. I didn't think that I thought my time was so fast that I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but like I didn't matter like that much to like have people talk about me, you know?
Right. No, I understand what you mean. But just on the contrary side, though, as a top guy, there should have been a little restraint on Batista to get in your face with his finger and react the way he did. And also, and maybe a more modern look at it, possibly some other people should have stepped in to push him away from you, if that's the way we'll look at it. The
I
fact
thought of
that
that too.
the fact that nobody did that, like that's the part I don't understand, because they don't then want heat with him for stepping in between his beef with you. And again, I talked about this last week with you. It's the eggshell thing from that time, and whether or not it still goes on to this day. People didn't want to get involved in your beef with him, and they didn't want to step in and then get collateral heat. And so somebody should have stepped in and say, hey, calm down, go step away. And then, like you said, maybe you guys could talk behind closed doors and figure out whatever the problem was. And maybe you could have had that sense of clarity of, hey, maybe this isn't my hill to die on, and maybe I shouldn't be worrying about this. If somebody came to you logically and not screaming their heads off, possibly roided to the gills at that point of 2007.
I'll say this, something that always stands out to me, and it's always stood out to me, and I never knew what to make of it till right now. You just helped me realize it. So thank you.
You're welcome.
One of the things that always stood out to me was Kevin was standing right next to Batista this whole time when like
Oh, I hope I don't throw my buddy under the bus now.
no, here we go.
Okay, all
So
right.
like I don't know where he was when we were like yelling at each other. I don't know where anyone was. It was just tunnel vision, me and Batista, because we were in each other's face. So I don't know about that part, but what I do know is when Johnny Ace came and was like, what happened, blah, blah, blah. And when Batista walked away, Kevin was walking away with him. And it always hurt my feelings because I felt like he went off with Batista, but blah, blah, blah. But right now, when you said no one said, hey, blah, 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 I kind of feel in my gut Kevin was trying to get Dave away from me because he knew that was the right thing. And I never thought of it. And because I've always thought like, was he siding with him? But that never felt right to me. I felt like even though I'd have that thought of he was kind of quote unquote abandoning me in that situation and siding with Dave, maybe that thought would happen. But then I would always felt like, no, why does this stand out? But now I feel that's what it was. Actually, effing Kevin, fucking Lil, freaking Kevin, I feel is the one who pulled him away from the situation, because that's when Johnny Ace had me, and then that's when like he was like now in control of the situation.
I
But
wouldn't doubt it.
here's the other thing. So on 11/11/11, I got invited. I got premiere passes to the premiere of the movie Immortals.
Mhm.
And I went there.
Remember
I went with my friend, and we were doing the whole like, schmoozing thing when you get the like, be with the celebrities and everything. And who the F was there? Effing Batista. Effing Batista. And so I go and watch the movie, and I'm freaking out because it's all about good and evil and da da da. And so after the movie, I go up to him and I said, "Hey, I'm really sorry. Like, I forgot what I said. Oh no, sorry. Leading up to that, before I got those tickets, he had just joined Twitter, and I tweeted him, truce. And then he wrote back, truce. Something to the effect of like, this business sometimes can get to you and make you not, be who you really are. Something cool like that, right? So then, like less than a year later, this Immortals thing happens, and I start talking to him, and I was being like, spiritual about it. And then I was like, sorry if I'm like being weird. He's like, oh no, you don't know my mom. Like, so he was like saying like how his mom is that way, and he was receiving it. And we gave each other a hug. And I said, let's take a picture. Like, I always get asked. And so I just text you the picture.
Oh, let me see.
I just text you the picture, and that's at the Immortals premiere.
Oh,
And
okay. There you
that's
go.
when, like, so there's been layers to this whole thing,
Yeah.
but the biggest layer of all was, it was not, I didn't realize, yeah, dude, I was sitting right over there, sitting right there in that chair, and I was just staring off into space, and I was like, shit, Batista was right. It wasn't any of my business. It was none of my business.
See?
And that's when I started dissecting it. And then that's when I was like, oh my goodness, like, I get it now. I get it.
And sometimes it's all it takes is a little bit of time to heal all wounds and make you realize maybe you should have just minded your own business.
But like I said, I don't sit with regret. I just wish I could have handled myself better. But I was young. I was 25 and or 26 at that point, I guess. And just living my childhood dream. So like that's a lot. Like that's kind of, and then when you're in that bubble and that's like normal, like it's a lot, I'm not excusing it or whatever, but I now understand why they were like, this bitch needs to go. Like before, I used to think it was just because I was always standing up for myself. But hello, I went off on Shawn Michaels. I went off for
Yeah, okay. Okay. Just let's go back to that one. Let's start with HBK. What? Okay, I know at that time, not the nicest guy. I mean, probably still not the nicest guy. Who knows? Reformed, I've heard, but I'd have to see the proof. But what happened with old HB Shizzle? What's going on there?
Hold on. So before I get into it, so
Okay,
he
all
did
right.
have a reputation at that time for not being the nicest during that era.
Okay, yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. So
Yeah,
because
I mean,
everyone's always like, oh, HBK. So I thought he was like a
no, I
favorite
always
of
heard he
everyone.
was a dick.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
So that makes
guys
me
that
feel less bad.
well, what I've heard, especially guys that I've talked to, like, idolized him, and he's kind of a dick.
Okay,
And
yeah,
then
he
let me
is.
also say this too: a very good friend of mine with very blonde hair, the franchise, heard a lot of not so great stuff from the franchise about him over the years. So that's
I love the
my
franchise, by the way. I love them. Here's the thing. So I was never a huge Shawn Michaels fan, just being a wrestling fan, like before the business. Like I was never really into him. He kind of got on my nerves. He rubbed me wrong. I just didn't care for him.
remember. I'm wearing a Bret Hart jacket tonight.
I just didn't care for him. And so, when I got into the business, I did recognize how he was very influential to the business and to wrestlers, and he was somebody to, I guess, study. And I say I guess study just because, like, I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler, but like, there's just always been this vibe about him I just did not like as a fan, as a then wrestler, I just didn't care for. And then I started hearing, that he gave his life to the Lord and things like that. And so I thought, okay, well, me being a person who loves the Lord herself her whole life, people look at me side-eyed because of the way I look. Maybe it's just one of those things I misreading him or whatever. So when I finally get on the road full time, it was kind of scary in a sense because I grew up very, like, my mom was very, very strict. So really, to me, my college years were when I was at OVW, and then you go from OVW to now you're on the road, and it's like, whoa, like that's a big difference. Like now it's real serious. And so it made me feel comforted to know that Shawn Michaels was a man of God because it made me feel like, there was that support there. And he just was nothing but rude to me, like, so rude. And one instance that I do talk about publicly, I won't talk about the other ones because I just don't want to, but one incident, there was, like, a bunch of us going into, a room for a meeting, and I remember him and Triple H were, like, we had to all pass by them because of where they were sitting to get to this room because it was, like, the catering room, and then we're ushered into this other room. And so where they were sitting in the catering room, we had to pass them, and so they were shaking everyone's hand because it was, like, beginning of the day, whatever. So I went and shook, Triple H's hand. He was always really nice to me. And then when I went to shake Shawn Michaels' hand, he grabbed his chapstick out and then turned his back to me and started putting his chapstick on. And I just looked at him and I was like, "Ah." And so when I was walking away loudly, I was like, ew, I worship the same God as you. Like, I can't believe like and I just like started going off. And there was somebody, and I want to say I could be wrong. It was Stevie Richards, and he was behind me. And I really hope that I'm remembering that right because he goes, just keep going. And like he was encouraging me to like shut up and keep my mouth shut and just keep going to the room. And so the reason why I hope that I am remembering it correctly and it was Stevie is because about 6 months or so ago, I saw a clip of him talking about how it was a similar situation where he was excited that Shawn Michaels was a Christian and he tried to give him some CD, and then Shawn Michaels was like a complete dick to him. And so I was like, oh, maybe that's why Stevie Richards, if it was him, and I could be not remembering it right, but if it was him, that's why he knew because you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if I'm remembering it correctly, but I swear I feel it was Stevie behind me, and that was my Shawn
Stevie,
Michaels
if
fan.
you're out there, confirm or not confirm.
But I think it'd be really cool if that is the case because, like I said, I didn't know up until like 6 months ago, like I said, and I saw that clip that that was like a story. And I don't know if it was well known or not, but like I was always around people who kind of kissed his ass. So like I wasn't around people who were like giving me like the stories about I was the only one. So I was thinking maybe I'm just the asshole over here if everyone else thinks he's so great and I'm just like I worship the same God as you.
That's a great response. I'm not gonna lie. That's
It's
a great response.
true because I was
It is.
heartbroken. Okay, again, I was in that moment out of the wrestling bubble and just talking human to human God-fearing human to God-fearing human. And that's not very Christian like, Chad. That's not very Christian at all. Jesus would not do that. Okay?
No, absolutely not. Especially if he got saved, he got a second chance. So, that's I could see you being upset about that. And
Well,
especially
here's the thing, because it's so deep, because I was finding comfort in knowing that there was somebody on the roster that also prays, that there's somebody on the roster that when, like, times are tough, you gotta give it to God and, like, all this and that and the other, like, that I needed that. I longed for that because I really with my friends, like, even if they were like, "Yeah, I believe in God," they weren't, like, tackling their issues and stuff like that, how I was. And so, it really meant a lot to me, and that's why it was made me really butthurt when he was like
oh, the chapstick move is such a dick move. Not gonna lie,
so
I might write that down though for future use
Go
because that
ahead.
is such a dickish move. I'm kind of like in admiration of it. I just won't tell that to Shane, but I'm kind of like admiring the chapstick move. That's such a dicky move.
It's so terrible. Oh my gosh. If I ever have to be a heel in something, like, I gotta
Yeah.
use that move.
Yeah, if they cast in something and they say you need to be the most despicable, mean person and think of something that you could do that really just piss people off, you're
Is
like, I got it, the chapstick.
lip gloss.
Yeah, oh, lip gloss will be perfect. There you go. So, all right, anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
No, I think we touched on a lot there.
We did. But we opened up some doors for sure.
Oopsie.
Hey, well, it's not called not a lot of information. It's called too much information for a reason. And you are locked in to too much information here on the YouTube channel of Shelly, which is at Shelly Martinez channel on YouTube. So stay subscribed here. This is where you'll find all of the TMI full videos, clips, shorts, anything and everything related to TMI will be on this channel, but we'll continue to post things on social media where you'll be able to know when things are coming and so on and so forth. But the home of the full episodes will be right here where you're watching this now. So no need to go any further, but you have had a lot of movement as it relates to things and links and your shows and this. So I'll let you cover all that before we get out of here today. Actually, I'll just say before I do, Chad me on X and IB exclusives on Instagram. So floor is yours.
Look, I'm Shelly and Callie. I'm almost everything. All you got to do, if you want to find all my links and what the hell I'm doing, just go to shellymartinez.net/links. There it is. Look at that. It's all there. All the officials. I don't have a Facebook, so I have a private one, so don't. If you see that, I'm not going to accept you. You're wasting your time. I don't even go on it. But other than that, it's all there for you guys. I made it nice and organized, so take advantage of going to shellymartinez.net/links.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, this is another great one. We will continue to load them up and churn them out. So for Shelly from Cali, this is the Chadster. We will get out of here for today and we will catch you on the flip side.